Lyndon Forbes Sampson Bonham, well known as the master politician and was an outstanding statesman. He was a great leader and our hero, you understand. That's why we remember LFS Bonham.
Good morning, viewers. Welcome once again to State of the Nation. This program is produced by the Bonham Foundation. This is one of our programs that we hold the fourth Sunday of every month. Today's program, or beginning today, is the commencement of a period of activities to commemorate the life and work of LFS Bonham on the occasion of his 27th death anniversary. Today I have some very special guests in the studio who will be talking about the man. Persons who have worked with Forbes Bonham, those who know him socially, and people who have made him a study and his work. With me in the studio today is the chairman of the foundation and also registrar of the University of Guyana, that is Mr. Vincent Alexander. On my left is Mr. Bharat Kissoon, someone who is versed in industrial relations practice and who knows Forbes Bonham very well, having lived close to him on the East Coast, having associated with him. And very soon we'll be joined by Mrs. Hazel Wolford, who's a historian who worked at the University of Guyana, and she would be giving a perspective because she has done some work on Forbes Bonham. And as a result, I will ask her a few questions to give her view on the research that she has done and what she thinks, what is her view of LFS Forbes Bonham. We want at the outset to express our sincere condolences to the families of Lewis, Bowie, and Somerset, who was murdered on the 18th of July by the police at Lyndon during a peaceful protest for their rights. The foundation, this program, would like to express our sincere condolences to the families and friends of those three guys who was murdered, and to those who were injured during that murderous rampage by the police. To set the perspective of today's program, I want to go right into the biodata of LFS Bonham. Forbes Bonham, Lyndon Forbes Sampson Bonham, was born on the 20th of February, 1923. He was the first executive president and leader of African descent of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana. He was born in Kitty, a village situated near the capital of Georgetown. He was the son of James Ethelbert Bonham and his wife Rachel Abigail Nee Sampson. Young Bonham was a brilliant student. After primary education at Kitty Methodist School, he began his secondary education at Central High School and then went to Queen's College in 1935. A year later, he gained the Centenary Exhibition as well as a government junior scholarship and the Percival Exhibition. The following year, in 1942, he won the highest scholastic award in the country at the time, the British Guiana Scholarship, which was awarded annually to to the scholar attaining the highest grades at the senior Cambridge examination held locally. In 1944, he earned the Bachelor's of Arts degree at external examinations of the University of London. Burnham then left for the United Kingdom and read for the Bachelor's of Laws Honours degree, which he gained at the University of London in 1947 with honours. A year later, he was admitted to the bar of the Honourable Society of Gray's Inn in London. That in itself gives us a little background, just a synopsis as to the quality of the man. Lyndon Forbes Sampson Burnham. OE, SC, BA, and LLB. His parents' name, James Ethel Burnham, schoolmaster, and Rachel Abigail Nee Sampson. Now I want to bring in right here Mr. Alexander, because Burnham, OE, SC, BA. Now those are distinguished accolades that has been assigned to his name, the man Forbes Burnham.
Well, Clayton, thanks you first of all for having us on the program. And may I join with you and on behalf of the Burnham Foundation to extend condolences to the relatives of those three young men, the Somerset family, the Bowie family, and the Lewis family. These three young men have died fighting for justice and will go down in the history of this country as not yet another set of people, like in the tradition of the Enmo martyrs, who have died fighting for their rights. Lyndon Forbes Sampson Burnham, you've mentioned those accolades. OE, Order of Excellence, the highest order, the highest award that one can get in Guyana. SC, Senior Counsel. And here I think we should pause a while. Burnham, having graduated, came back to Guyana and joined the bar, and turned out to be, in a very short period of time, a very brilliant lawyer and a very distinguished advocate. And it's because of that brilliance, after a very short period of time, Burnham was given what they call SILK, Senior Counsel. In his very early years, he became a senior counsel, a recognition of the quality of the man. So much is said about Burnham today, but no one stops to look at the fact of the background of Lyndon Forbes Sampson Burnham, and the fact that he had the potential to be one of the greatest jurists of this country, but gave up that noble profession, and not only noble, but profession in which he could have made a lot of money, to dedicate his life to this country, Guyana. And so it's quite appropriate that today we start a series of activities to commemorate his life as we get closer to his death anniversary, which is the 6th of August. 6th of August.
Of August, yeah.
So yes, Clayton, I want to underline the fact that Burnham, a lawyer, got honours and was recognized even in the UK during his period of studentship. Not only was he a lawyer or a student at that time, but he became one of the leaders of the West Indies Society in England. So he was recognized beyond the shores of Guyana as a young man with potential as a leader.
I want to point out two distinct achievements according to the biodata that I've just stated. Burnham was able to gain the Percival exhibition and the Centenary exhibition. Those are achievements. How How was those achievements awarded to anyone in Guyana?
Well, when Burnham was a young man, secondary education was not free and was not compulsory. One had to have the means to attend the secondary school. Even Queen's College and Saints and all of those schools, one had to have the means to attend. It wasn't a matter of passing common entrance and automatically going, as it is today, thanks to the policies of Lyndon Forbes Sampson Burnham.
People had to pay in those
People
days.
had to pay in those days.
To go to Queen's College or St. Stanislaus or
All of the
Bishops or anyone.
schools,
Right?
all of the schools one had to pay to go to. Now, Burnham started off, as you would see, at the centenary, at Central High School.
Yeah, Central.
That's where his parents could have afforded to send him at the time. But no later, he was able, by virtue of his scholastic achievements, even at that level, to be awarded a scholarship to Queen's College. Now, the Centenary Scholarship, they call it Exhibition there, and the Percival, they were really scholarships that allowed for his continuation in the school without having to pay the relevant fee. And those scholarships could only be acquired by virtue of his performance. So the fact that Burnham got the Centenary and the Percival Exhibition, as they call them, is an indication that right from his early ages, he was a top-class scholar in this country and was able to maintain his education through his own scholarly effort by virtue of his performance and the acquisition of those exhibitions, the Centenary Exhibition and the Percival Exhibition.
I wanted you to, and then he was able to win the British Guiana Scholarship. In those days, the scholarship was awarded to the highest grade of senior Cambridge exam.
Yes,
Which
again,
would be
this
on
was
with-
the scholarship that allowed you to go on to do tertiary education. Burnham was one of those persons in his class who won that scholarship. It meant that he was the best product of Queen's College in the year in question. And based on that, he was recognized and he was given the Guyana Scholarship. Now, we no longer have the Guyana Scholarship, but we used to have these scholarships before independence and even on to the period of Burnham as president. We continued having scholarships, what we call the Guyana Scholarships. Burnham was a recipient of that because of his scholastic achievement